What's going on, guys? Fun with Knives back again. I'm going to be starting a new YouTube playlist on my channel, and it's going to be called Guest Knives. So no, this is not my knife. This is actually my brother's. I just wanted to show it off, talk about it. Everyone knows what this knife is. This is the Spyderco Paramilitary 2. It's been pimped out a little bit. We'll talk about that. And we'll talk about why this is such a popular knife, and it will continue to be for years to come, and why I'm so jealous about it. You know, I really want this knife. I'll always have. I'll get one in the future, but I'll give you guys the specs as usual, and we'll get into this thing. So we got a blade length of 3 7/16 inches, and then a cutting length of 3 5/64 inches. So very exact measurements there. Closed length of 4 13/16 inches, and then a weight of only 3.7 ounces at an overall length of 8 9/32 inches. So all those very specific measurements stating that this is a big ass knife. It doesn't look like it, it doesn't even really seem like it, but when you hear those specs, this knife is just seems huge. And at a weight of under 4 ounces, it definitely doesn't feel like that in your hand or in your pocket. A lot of it is you have a very large handle to not a disproportionate blade, but a smaller blade. So I'm assuming this was the kind of most plain Paramilitary 2, the one with a satin blade and black G10 handles. He bought it off a guy, and it came with these cool, just kind of brushed, smooth aluminum handles. I think those look a lot better. Any custom PM2 scales look better than their G10. Maybe not their Digicam ones, but definitely better than the plain black ones. So let's get into the blade here before I get carried away. This is a kind of their modified leaf point shape. Super awesome at just all these tasks. It's got a good point for penetrating, thick blade stock back here, full flat ground, Spyderco logo there. Got a lot of glare from the light. Sorry, guys. CPM S30V right here. So very awesome blade shape, just tried and true. On the back side here, you have Sal and Eric Glesser's design marks, the founder of Spyderco and his son, Only Fitting, and then Golden, Colorado, USA Earth. So another just awesome USA made Spyderco. It seems like everything that comes out of their, their USA made factory is just amazing. So the blade's great. You can't really beat this. The leaf shape is arguably one of the best pocket knife blade shapes. They're just excellent slicers. This one's going to be a decent piercer, and that S30V is just kind of the go-to steel for them now. I know they release some in 204P, S110V, but this is kind of your basic steel for the PM2. That brings us to deployment, which is just this kind of oversized hole here. I think this is the 14mm hole. So very easy to access. You can flick it like that. We've talked about this before, where you can open it all these different ways, and you can open it with this lock here, the compression lock. I only own one. It's my Yojimbo 2. Same exact lock here. You can press it down and then kind of flick it out and flick it closed. So very user-friendly knife, very safe. And that compression lock is just ultra strong. As you can see, this knife is a little bit loose here and there. My brother really uses it, and I love it. It's got all sorts of wear marks and scratches on it. I love seeing knives that have been used rather than ones that are just there to look clean and pretty. So lockup on this thing is just abnormally strong for a thinner piece of steel, but it's just getting compressed in between a very large stop pin, making it a very secure lock. That brings us to this handle. I'm going to talk about the aluminum because it's different. Everybody's seen the G10, the normal versions, how they come. This aluminum's really nice. It's not anodized or anything. It's just kind of plain, but it matches really well. The whole thing just looks very futuristic to me almost. It's nice and shiny. The whole thing's got that kind of satin brushed look. It takes scratches pretty well, but you guys know I love aluminum handles and how they wear and how they show kind of what they've been through. So I really like the look of these ones, and it might even lighten it just, I don't know, maybe a little bit. I felt the G10 one before, and I really don't think aluminum can weigh, very different from G10 at all. Now, if these were some very thick, titanium aftermarket scales, it'd probably be a little bit heavier. But this is open construction. You got just 2 standoffs here. This knife is extremely easy to disassemble. A very large lanyard hole to kind of customize it a little bit. And then he's got a deep carry titanium clip with a skull on it. It looks really similar to my shallot, which I don't have here at the moment. But very deep carry. You can't even see this thing when it's in your pocket. And I think it matches well. I mean, this has got scratches on it too. So I love how worn and just used this knife is. Now the handle is the one thing about this knife I'm not absolutely in love with. There's so many ways to grip the knife and use it. The jimping here on the thumb ramp from the hole is just absolutely phenomenal. There's no way your thumb's going anywhere, and you do have your forward finger choil here with some awesome jimping as well to really lock it in if you need to choke up. Reverse grip's good. So, you know, arguably this is one of the best handle shapes. I'm just not a huge fan of how it looks. I'm a big Manix 2 guy. I don't know if I like it better than the PM2 or not, but it's just kind of that canoe shape. It really reminds me of the Ontario Rat 1. It's plain, but it's useful, and they know that. I almost forgot to mention too, your pocket clip is 4-way repositionable at every corner of the knife. So guys, because this is a new playlist, I'll see how it, you know, kind of works out. But I just wanted to show off his PM2 because it seems like a lot of people have one. Everyone's got something a little bit different in theirs, and everyone uses theirs differently. So, and to tell you guys, I'm jealous because he's got one. They're awesome. So guys, I absolutely recommend the PM2. It's worth every penny of that $122. Once you get one in hand and use one, you're going to want to trick it out just like this one. And I encourage you guys to maybe even get, you know, a higher end model with some better steel, because you might not need another pocket knife, because this fulfills so many categories as far as maybe an outdoor kind of folder, you know, your everyday carry knife, and maybe even something tactical because of that strong lock and blade shape. So when a knife covers all three of those bases, it's just a home run, and this one will continue to be for a very long time. So as always guys, thanks for watching. I'm going to have more knife reviews coming up, more guest knives like this one, and maybe even some discussion videos here in the future. So stay tuned.